This is what I don't get. This situation with you, we got somebody's civil rights being trampled on. Same thing with Shani and Allen. Nobody spoke up about that.
Yeah, and you can make a left at. I said we can make a left at Grand River so we can get on Woodward and kind of see the scenery.
Cool, man. So yeah, you weren't getting help from people you thought you'd get help from.
Yeah, a few of them helped, a few of them didn't. But I got a majority of my help from CJ in the Open Carry, Texas, and a lot of the gun community, as far as financial and just support, as far as just being having someone to talk to, you know, and kind of just.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what that would be like, but I know you can't disclose that to your friends.
Yeah.
Like they have no idea. They have no idea.
Yeah, and it was rough, but so we went through the trial, and CJ was, he was on the phone, man, with my mother and everything. Like, I'll introduce him to my mother. We was on Skype. I was like, all right, Mom, here's CJ. He's in Texas. He's going to help us, you know. And then she was like, okay.
All right.
And then, you know, so she was like, well, who is CJ? And I was like, well, I told him, look him up, you know. So he's got all these articles and stuff. And, you know, she was really impressed. And it was one of those things where, you know, we all had to just pull our networks together and just figure something out. So I was getting funding, and, you know, I was able to kind of just work my way through the process and got the trial. The trial lasted 1 whole week, and evidence was withheld, like the 911 tape that the clerk had admitted.
It was at a gas station?
At a gas station, yep. Okay. Video footage, and he made it clear. What happened was we couldn't find him. He disappeared. And because he disappeared, it was all hearsay. So there's a conspiracy theory out here that he got chased away by the plaintiff, or he got chased away by the prosecutor, because he was going to hurt their case, because he said clearly in his statement that I heard secondary gunfire from the direction of the Arabic male who I had, you know, the altercation I had was with an Arabic male. Mm-hmm. He left the country and went to Yemen and didn't come back, so he didn't even show up.
Wow.
The other guy did, but the main guy who started it all didn't come to the city. We're going to make a straight shot here.
All right.
And we're going to hit Jefferson, and Jefferson's where all the sightseeing. You got the fists, you got all the little, you know, things, the accolades of Detroit down here. And
cool, man.
So Detroit pride. So Joe Louis Arena. It's supposed to be Joe Louis Fist. You know.
Gotcha.
So everything just kind of just started unraveling, and I had an epiphany, man. I sat there and I was like, how can we get some of this evidence in to prove there was another gun? So the big shabam I had came up with was, you know what? The clerk's not here, but he had to be interviewed by an officer, because he had a written statement. Yeah. Let's interview that officer and see what he says, what his whole investigation was about. And in his investigation, in his police report, he asked the individual, did you see who fired the second gun? So of course, for him to come to that question, there had to be some evidence there that it was a second gun. And so when we had that officer take the stand, and she fought tooth and nail the prosecutor. She did not want, that's leading into hearsay.
Oh my gosh.
When that officer said that, when we read the questions that he asked, and then the jury, they can ask questions. They write them down and send them.
The jury can ask questions?
Yep, they write them down, and the sheriff takes them to the judge, and the judge reads them out loud.
Oh my gosh.
So one of the questions was, why did you see the second gun? Which led into the statement, and he said, well, the clerk said he heard secondary gunfire when we arrived to the scene.
Wow.
And did you search the scene? No, we didn't. They taped it off, but we didn't search any dumpsters. They didn't search any trash cans. So it was a contaminated scene. And between that, my testimony, the young lady's testimony, the case fell apart. And it was just, it was like the jury was like, okay, this is not going to happen. And they said I was not guilty of all 7 felonies.
What were the 7 felonies?
It was 2 attempted murders, 2 attempts to do great bodily harm, because it was 2 individuals were hit.
Yeah.
A felonious firearm, they give a felony firearm, they give if you use a gun in any type of crime that they feel you did, it doesn't matter if you have a license for it, it's automatically a concealed felony firearm.
Wow. And
it was 2 other ones just kind of left my mind right now, but it was the 2 other ones that dealt with attempted murder.
Are we turning to going left?
We can go left or right if you want to make it right.
Left. Let's go left with that.
Yeah.
There's the cool looking stuff over there.
Yep. This is the GM building. And so all 7 was dropped. I was facing up to 30 years max.
Wow. 30 years.
Walked out of there with not a day Other than the 4 days I did, and 18 months on tether. So technically, I did a year in my opinion, because I was 4 days in prison. I mean, in Wayne County Jail, and 18 months in the house.
Wow.
You know, so I was able to leave for work every once in a while, and just had my work hours. But after that, you're straight home. You better figure out something to do. Netflix gets old. You're gonna make a left here because we'll end up in Canada. That's how you go to Canada. If you want to go to Canada.
I know. I saw it driving here. I see this bridge to Canada.
Yep.
I'm like, bridge to Canada. I don't have a passport. I don't want to be going that way.
And let's see. If you want to make a left here, we can go back into the city because we're going to hit the freeway if we go that way.
All right.
So so I was exonerated, and here I am today with all this new experience and knowledge that I accumulated. And at this point, it's like I gotta save some lives, and the first step was to write a book.
Cool. That's a good thing, man.
Yep.
That is a good thing. It's to me, it's great that you're able to take this negative experience and horrible life-changing thing and turn it into something that's going to be positive for you and hopefully for other people.
Right.
Which is a really good thing.
Yep, and that's what my platform kind of just was built on. Is my entire life was calamities that you turn into to help others. You know, I had multiple situations, not nearly as severe as this, but I had other situations that went crazy that I wanted to teach life lessons on. But this right here was the big.
Oh my gosh, I can't even fathom. Yeah.
So, but
can't even fathom. So, did they take your license?
They took my license. I'm fighting right. Actually, I should have everything reinstated soon. Do
you still have any blasters?
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Cough.
That's right. Do you still have any guns?
Oh, you know what? All my rifles and things I had. A lot of them I ended up selling to get attorney fees. But
sure.
I did have my my Mossberg pump shotgun.
Right. Got a Mossberg 500.
Yeah. Got that one just in case. You know, I always have house protection.
Yeah.
You know, in Detroit we call it crib protection. I got my crib protection, but you know, as far as on my handguns, a lot of them I end up selling, and you know, and I was trying to just get as much money as I could just to fight the case.
Oh, sure.
But I started to slowly get my money back together to buy and get my stuff back. I had, you know, I was a gold hoarder, or I would collect gold coins. I had to sell all of my gold coins, and I was off into the precious metal trade. So I was just a lot of my assets, man. It was all guns, gold. You know, I had a little bit of had one property that I had, you know, but it was kind of just pretty much decimated. And it was really a house in Detroit. It really wasn't worth much, but you know, everything I had, I just got rid of it. And was like, all right, let's try to fight this case, because if I go to jail, all this stuff's not going to matter. So
right, you gotta put laser focus on what it is.
Yeah,
that's important for you.
So everybody was like, well, what do you got of value? I was like, well, I got some guns. You know, I was like, oh, yeah, well.
Okay.
So you know, a lot of my friends, they had their CPO, so they were happy to get that off my hands.
Right.
Yeah,
your friends.
They were like, oh yeah, I'll buy that. Yeah,
I'll take that.
Yeah. So
how much do you really want for it?
Yeah, how much really? I was like, well, I told myself I'm not taking too much less than what it was worth, because I go to gun shows and I can trade it in and do some get a couple bucks for it. But if you're my buddy, man, at least you can do is help me out.
Yeah. So do the HBO special, man, to help a brother out.
Right. So and pretty much the main thing I got out of this was the plea deal system. They were so right when we got to the beginning of the trial, they kept trying to get me to take this 1 year deal.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, plead to 1 year. Plead guilty. And we will drop it. Most of the charges, you do 1 year in jail and you'll be out before you know it.
You'll be out before you know it.
And I said, well, I'm innocent. Well,
right.
You know, we got enough evidence. We're gonna book you. They try to, you know, all kind of scare tactics. Do you really want to take that chance in front of a jury? You know, they could come out and say that they feel like you were guilty. I said, well, I'm walking in this lion's den, and I'm coming out. Still my faith, and I'm like Daniel. I'm like, you know, I'm not gonna get out here and give up on and feel like God is forsaking me now. So, and I was a big believer. I grew up in a Christian family, so. My faith is with God, and I just refuse to believe that this was my end of my story. And I got a 7-year-old daughter. I mean, I just knew, like, there's no way in the world that God's gonna let me just come this far and just throw me to the curb.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's interesting how this, whatever, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. Not that I'm not religious, but it's interesting that this happens to you, and you gotta find a way to make it work and have it work for you, so you can get something positive out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, when you think about things, you say, all right, well, it's not what I wanted, but it's shaping you to be who God wants you to be. Yeah, absolutely. It's shaping you to be a better person. And there's a lot of people that will say it's not how you react. It's not what happens to you. It's how you handle what happens to you.
Exactly.
Totally. Cool.
When you come up with this X, I guess we can kind of loop around.
All right. Well, let's pop out. Well, listen, Marcus, we are almost where we need to be, and this has been a lot of fun riding with you. I honestly hope we get a chance to do this again.
Yep.
This is really cool. I love driving around and meeting new people and talking to people about their stories. And you've got some other stuff that might be interesting to talk about the next time we get together. So we will definitely do that another time.
Yep. And if people want to know the name of my book,
yes, plug away, man. Plug away.
My website is marcusweldon.com. The book is The Santa Shooter: Guilty Until Proven Innocent. Right now we're negotiating with a few publishers, and I had a lot of different hurdles I had to get over to get where I'm at, but the book is complete. Now I'm just trying to get everything printed, and ebook will be releasing soon, so stay tuned. Marcus Allen Weldon is my Facebook as well.
Very cool. Marcus, It's been a pleasure, bud.
All right.
Thank you very much. We will talk to you guys later.
All
we will see you next time on Riding Shotgun with Charlie.
Shotgun with Charlie.